Last for me, you've mentioned the name Francis Ngannou a couple times. Curious why that one's interesting to you, because of course he looks like the dangerous young guy right now, the up-and-comer, and would try to make a name off you. I don't know how much you would get off him, and he looks like a really dangerous guy. So why is that a guy you want to fight?
Well, I like to test myself. I believe that every opponent makes me better. And I don't know, he mentioned my name, and I was open to the idea. I was like, hey, wait a minute, somebody wants to fight me. I never back down from nobody who wants to fight me. That's one. And number two, of course, Francis is there. I would never, if that's going to happen, it's great. But I'm also going to be looking for that other fight. Of course, championship fight, JDS versus Stipe. Two great athletes, two tremendous fighters. I really loved that first fight. It was back and forth and a very tough fight for both. But if JDS would win that one, I could see a rematch there too. Me and JDS.
Alistair, a lot of the work in the fight was done up against the cage. Mark Hunt was able to land a few short elbows before you knocked him out. Was there anything in that clinch in terms of you having to make any types of adjustments, or was it just waiting for the opportunity to land those knees?
Well, again, I remember from my first fight with Mark, the guy is durable, but above all, he's very strong. He has that one punch knockout power. So that's something that's constantly in your mind. You gotta, before you know it, you're waking up in the locker room and it's done. So that's something you gotta be careful about, and that means that's gonna stop your attack, your offensive.
Sorry. Don't leave. How was that? Stay there.
Did you know he was sick? So he's been in the hospital for 24 hours with food poisoning, throwing up, and all the other pleasantries of food poisoning for 24 hours. Was in the hospital, brought him home, and we had to bring him back to the hospital. They had to fill him with bags of fluids and IVs, and at one point he was afraid to leave his room because he couldn't stop throwing up and everything else. Did not want to turn down the fight. Still came out and fought tonight and knocked out Mark Hunt. So, and more to his credit, didn't say one word about it in his interview, and obviously hadn't said it here yet. I just came in to thank him and tell him how much I respect him.
Alistair, just one more for me. There was kind of a strange injury to Mark Hunt's right shin. It looked like he was throwing some low kicks and got a real big gash on his shin.
He said he broke his tibia, just for that matter. He said he broke his tibia.
Oh, okay. So to the outside of your knee, did that register with you when it happened? Did you have any perspective on when he sustained that injury? Was anything you noticed at the time?
Well, he was kicking my leg, and I thought he might do it. He's a K1 champion. He kicks. He throws bombs. So checking those kicks was one part of the game plan, because you don't want to. He actually landed a couple. My leg was bruised. But did he break his fibula? Fibula is on the back of the leg, right?
Tibia, the tibia. Down the bottom, the shin.
Of his left or right leg?
I don't remember what he said. I think it was right leg.
Right leg.
He posted on Instagram that he broke it. My first question for you, and then I have one for the president, is you were switching southpaw and conventional a lot in the fight. I mean, what does that do against a guy like Hunt?
Well, you want him to guess what you're doing, right? And switching up opens up other possibilities of attack, defenses. Again, you got to be sharp for Mark, because one mistake and it's over. That's in the heavyweight division anyway. With Mark Hunt in particular. We've seen him fight Bigfoot. We've seen him do it to Frank Mir. One mistake and it's it. So you got to be on your toes. You got to be sharp. Very happy that I was able to do that.
Dana, I know we always talk about the matchmaking thing, but he mentioned Francis Ngannou afterwards, and guys as hot as anybody. But he's a young guy. Do you think that Francis is a guy that you could see at this stage of his career fighting Alistair?
Well, we're planning something. He's already got something planned for this summer. So, but yeah, I think the guy needs, one or two more fights, and yeah, he could be there.